I'm here, I'm shiny, I'm here. I'm shiny, and I have crazy eyelashes. Hi! You know what song is in my head? And Chris will know why. Back to life, like it's in my head. Back to reality, back to the here and now minute. Hello, everyone. I'm going to wait for folks to come into the room as per usual. And, we'll do what we got to do. Iman, hello. Wow, this Iman, I need you. Arendina, hello, how are you? I need you to understand that I actually fell asleep during this episode. Got up, watched the tail end of it, and then watched a full 45 minutes of Love in Paradise. Like, that's how boring this episode was. I was surprised that I was able to stay up and watch Love in Paradise because I fell asleep mid 90 Day Fiancé. You would think that I would just, oh God, the episode is over. Sorry, I gotta go to sleep. I'm tired. No, as soon as the episode was over, I was like, great, that was a good nap. Because it was that boring. Hello, Living Queen. Welcome. Hello, Fit Food Review. Hello, Denise. Hi, Monique. Virtual hug back to you. It was a terribly boring episode. Natasha, hello. Welcome. I'm trying to figure out how this mic could be better, because when I watch the playback, it sounds crystal clear if I'm right here. If I'm not right here, it doesn't sound crystal clear. And I want it to sound crystal clear at all times. Hi, Sabine. Hi, Lily. Hi, June. Hi, Doris. Let's see. I think I'll have time to be able to let people in. So I'll go on ahead and do this and do this. And you have to email me at justcallmewa@gmail.com, not any of my other emails, so that I can look at it. Possibly let you in if you have something to say. But honestly, I don't know what you would say. This episode was just a snooze festival. You know what I'm saying? A festival of snoozery. A festival of sleep. $47 people in the room. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Yes, these eyelashes. I know. I needed eyelashes to put on, so I just got my teal and purple ones. Does it not match this? I have no cause to ever wear these eyelashes, so I have to just put them on at random times. Hi, Angelique. Hi, Mina. I'm seeing a lot of people's names that I haven't seen. Linjay, hello. Anise, hello. Lori Joseph, hello. Thank you, Deal Saver. Thank you. Oy. Oy. This is the dress. It's very simple. I got it from Amazon. I feel like, is it fuzzy? Did you guys check out the Tabitha Brown collection at Target? I did. I bought 2 items. This is not one of them. And then I'm going to go to another Target today and see if there's any other items, Thank you, Arendina. Hello, Flower Lotus. Hi, Sun Worshipper. Hi, Jessie the Painter. However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? I did check out Tab stuff, but the dress I want is sold out. Ooh, what dress do you want? I mean, there's a lot, so you don't have to describe it to me. But yeah, the folks went. The folks went and purchased. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if she's only in certain locations, and I wonder what locations gets the full line, because I was at a location in Los Angeles, and it's not a big Target, it's not a super Target, but it did not have everything. Because then I went online and like looked at hashtag Tabitha Brown, and I saw a lot of items, like at least 3 or 4 pieces that I did not see at my store. And then I'm also thinking, like, why didn't I get a pool towel? I need a pool towel because I know someone that has a pool, and there might be, times where I am invited to said pool, and I would love to have a Tabitha Brown pool towel. I would also love to purchase a bathing suit, and I didn't. I didn't purchase the bathing suit, and I see them on people, and now I'm like, maybe I need a onesie. Not a onesie, but I need one piece bathing suit. I don't know. The Tab Brown collection is so colorful and ethnic. But is it ethnic? I just think it's colorful. It's not giving like anything particular, but maybe it is. And I just, because I've seen it so much, that I'm like, oh yeah, that's that kind of dress. So follow me on Instagram if you want to see the items that I purchased. I purchased 3 things, and I was torn between 2 sizes. So I tried it on. It was giving me school marm. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't giving what I needed to give the girls. So she had to take it back. No, Target in the store. Like in the store. Like you walk in and it's go to the ladies section, and it's like Tabitha Brown. While supplies last. Limited edition. Chris got a bathing suit. And I thought it was really cute on top, but she wasn't feeling it. And we're in a phase in our lives where we're just not just like spending money on things if we're not really feeling it. And so it was good. It was a good edit. She didn't like it, but I'm like, maybe I like it. Maybe I'll go back and look at it. Maybe it'll do something to mine. Maybe it'll make my tatas look great. I don't know. So we'll see. No, I don't want that one. I don't want a 2-piece, I don't think. Hi, Barb. Barb, I have a very serious question. Do people call you Babs or Barbie? Is your full name Barbara? Did you ever go by Babs? Oh, it's online too? Good to know. I felt bad because it wasn't really my style, but I'm happy for her. Yeah, no. I don't know. I was going to say there might be something for everyone, but like, no, I think it's kind of the same vibe. It's loose. It's like a linen, cotton sort of feel to it. So that it's pretty substantial. It's not like it's a frou-frou fluff exhilaration situation. And there isn't anything that's quite understated. Like the only thing you could possibly do is maybe because even all the pants, they're wide-legged. But there are skirts in her collection, and I didn't see any. I only saw one skirt at the place that I was at, and it was multi-leveled, and I was like not into those tiered skirts. I can't believe it's 8 minutes in, and I don't have 100 people. Are people busy? Is today a holiday? We're about to get started. Hi, Gabby. Hi, Renee. Hi, Ernestine. Gabby, I emailed you. Did you get my email, Gabby? Dedria. Hi. Hi, Lori. Thanks for following me. Thank you. Okay, guys, let's jump right into this. I don't have time to wait. We're going to start at 9 minutes. And hey, guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! And then late because I never remember. My name is Wahima, and I do recaps of relationship reality TV such as 90 Day Fiancé, Love at First Sight, or Love at Marriage. Marriage at First Sight? Girl, I don't know. I do recaps of reality relationship television shows. So if you are into those things, please go on ahead and subscribe. Join the community. If you would like to join the conversation today, you can email me at justcallmewah, as it says right here. Email me at justcallmewah@gmail.com. Not any of my other email addresses, just call me Wah. And then I will invite you in. You do not have to show your face. I'm going to go on ahead and send this to my good Judy, Christine. Copy to clipboard. So Christine will be joining if she wants to at any point, and we can talk about this show. And the truth is that Chris might actually remember more of what happened because we were together last night and I fell asleep and she did not. She powered through it like a campeones. And I slept. I really did. But Chris is going to go live later today if you are at all interested in that. If you'd like to give your girl a tip, you can do so on these things down below right here. And you know how those work. I also have something on YouTube called a thank you. If you want to give me a thank you, you can. It's the only version of a super chat. I had to add it back on because my international folks who don't have access to the things scrolling down the bottom of my screen, they can give me a thank you through there. Summer Dragonfly is here, you guys. Let's just get started. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Hi, Lisa. Oh, we've got a troll. This naked HD always finds me. It makes me happy. All right, so let's talk about our first couple, and we're just going to jump right into these two because it was, I mean, you guys, wow. Listen, as an entitled individual, there's a certain part of me that understands when girls or children of people who are entrepreneurs and hard workers feel slightly entitled to things from their families, to things from their parents, especially if the parent has their entire life set it up so that they would catch their children should they fall, right? And that is, I think, the sign of a good parent, somebody who is there for their children, who provides succor and comfort and love and support to their child. And it leaves the door open for that child to always feel like, you know, they will have their families to support. And that's very comforting. But Emily is too old for this behavior. And it's her parents' fault because they enable it. Nobody tells her she's annoying. No one tells her to shut up. No one tells her to, you know, be nice or whatever. No one tells her anything, right? So they just let her like be this like, it's like, you know what it is? Emily was never a good kid. Emily was the kid who would argue at, you know, family functions, like argue back and forth with her mother. Emily was the kid who would just cry when people were trying to comb their hair. And it's like, girl, you just need your hair combed. So at this point, and you've gotten your hair combed a million times, just stop crying. Emily is just the pouty girl. Like Emily, her parents were annoyed with her at like 5, and then they just gave up after that and were like, this is who she's going to be. They never tried to correct it. They didn't try to make her a decent person. They just let her be a brat. And so what she did is she got on national television as a 29-year-old woman with a child and sat across from them and basically told them to shut up their complaints about their worries and just give her the money because isn't that what they want to do anyway, is support her. And then she was manipulative on the way. So it's not like she sat down and was like, hey guys, I know that you guys have done so much for me and I thank you so much. And I am scared because I think this is the only opportunity that I'll have to marry somebody. And it's the only opportunity I'll have to marry somebody this hot, whose child I already have. And he can't afford anything. I can't afford anything. And I know you've been paying for everything. And I promise you that if you pay for this, that Kobe and I will figure it out going forward. But I just really want a fairy tale wedding. So can you pay for it? No, that's not what she says. She says, so we don't have that much money. And if you could, you know, like help us out, that'd be great. And the dad is like, well, we have concerns. And the mom is like, yeah, you know, the way he was talking to you the other day. The dad's like, what are you talking about? The mom's like, oh, yeah. And Emily's like, well, basically what's happened is that he told me to shut the F up because he was frustrated or mad at me because I kept telling him what to do and I was trying to help him. But that's neither here nor there. We've already fixed that. It's done. That's done. And so the mother is like, well, we're just trying to help you. Like, we want to support you and we don't think this is a good idea. And she was like, well, if you want to help and support me, you could give me money, which is what I'm asking you for. And that would be help and support. And then the dad says something real dumb. He doesn't understand why they're here. He doesn't understand this camera crew. Hey, John. Hey. Thanks, Lisa. Thank you for getting me some water. He doesn't understand that John and Lisa are here filming a show called 90 Day Fiance. And so that means that Kobe and Emily need to get married in 90 days. And the dad says, what's the rush? What's the rush to get married? And she's like, because his visa will run out. And if I don't marry him, then he has to go home. And then I will never have help taking care of this baby that I made on accident. But I'll have you. And then the dad's like, okay, well, we'll support you. And she's like, okay, thanks. This is what you should have just said in the beginning. You should have just said that in the beginning. You should have just said yes in the beginning because, like Mima says, y'all do everything I say anyway, so I don't know why you're fighting this. Like, why are you even trying to come up with anything? Hey, are there any moderators that can go on ahead and just like kick out Naked HD? I know I said I was happy, but I would like them to go away. So like Lynn J, are you there? Chris, are you there? I don't know who else is a moderator, and is anyone there to like kick out that thing? Hi, Beastmaster. Hello, Mickey. Welcome to the room. Okay, so there was no gratitude nor nice opening. The way she even asked for it and how the parents didn't react is a question. Yeah, that is how she is used to behaving. And they are used to it and okay with it. And she's used to it. So she is not even aware of how terrible she looks. She looks real bad. And listen, I don't care if that is how you have a relationship with your parents. If that is the way they have allowed you to talk to them and behave, it's not for me to judge. But I don't want to see it because it makes me uncomfortable. And I wonder if she watched that back and realized how much of a bee she sounds like. Because she's 29 years old. So that's all I recall. And I actually fell asleep during the part where the dad talked to Kobe. Chris gave me an update, and then I also saw a little clip on it from 90 Day the Melanated Way. And let me see if I missed anything. I put 1 month in, horseback riding with neighbors. Oh, I forgot that. Her and Kobe went horseback riding with neighbors, and she let him drive a golf cart, which is nice. And he tries to touch her leg, and she doesn't want him touching him. And then they both get on the smallest horses. They both basically get on ponies is really what they do. They get on the smallest horses. And she's like, it's okay, babe. It's okay. You just got to, lean into it. And, blah, blah, blah. And it just looks really uncomfortable for the horses. I just feel bad. I feel terrible for them. They don't look like they are equipped to carry that load. They look like they are equipped to carry a child. But they go around in a circle to get some bonding time because the mother agreed to watch Coben. I mean, listen, the way she asks for money leads me to believe that the mother would take care of Coben at any time. Emily doesn't strike me as somebody who, like, I feel like they would take care of Coben. She makes it seem like they're like helping her out and like watching the kid. And maybe that's what it is. Like maybe this nanny gig she talks about is made up. And she actually doesn't work at all. And so their thing is like, we're paying for you, so we won't take care of him. We won't babysit because you're using our money for everything. That could be it. Oh no, don't jump in. Don't trip. I just gave it to you if you wanted to. Don't worry about it, Chris. You do you. Do your laundry. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. That's if you want to come in. She feels just really entitled to her parents' money. So now, we then have a scene where Kobe and the dad are talking, and the producer set it up to make us believe that he's going to confront Kobe about his language towards his daughter, but that's not it. The dad wants to know if Kobe has a plan because he's tired of taking care of everybody. It's been a month, and he's taking care of two grown people who have no goals or understanding of what they're going to do in this world. And so the father asks Kobe if what's the plan. And Kobe says, well, I was thinking of modeling, but I don't think I can do that in Salinas. And the dad is like the dad moves past that and is just like, that is a crazy thought that you had in your head. It's a crazy thought. You're not in New York City. And even if you were in New York City, do we all think that Kobe is ready to go back into underwear modeling? Do we all think that Kobe has physically prepared himself? Because listen, he could go on Fenty Beauty with that body. He can go on Fenty. But he can't go anywhere else. Especially because that is a beer body. You know what I'm saying? That's not like a natural, I'm a thick man. You know what I'm saying? That's not a hoochie daddy man. Kobe's not a hoochie daddy shorts man normally. And so unfortunately, he's not giving what the thick thigh daddies need. He's not giving that. So hi Miriam. So so to me, he's not even prepared to be an underwear model. Should Salinas have an underwear model industry? He's not ready for that. So then he's like, well, I took classes in civil engineering, or I did something with civil engineering. And I know that you have an architect business. And I was just wondering, think that it'd be great if you could teach me the ropes. And so I said, teach me the ropes. I did. So he says, the dad's like, oh, okay, well, do you have any formal education, any certificates, anything like that? And he's like, no, I just have high school. And he's like, okay. And that shocked me. Honestly, it shocked me. I thought Kobe would have had his bachelor equivalency of some sort. I don't know why. I just assumed he was educated. And educated is a weird thing to say. I hate when people, I'm going to take that back and I do apologize. I don't like when people refer to going to university as being educated, because that doesn't necessarily mean you are. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the word is, but I just assumed he had some kind of higher education. And I was wrong in my assumptions. And so the dad is doesn't say it to him, but he says it to the confessionals that Kobe's actually crazy if he thinks that he's going to give him the business, teach him the ropes and eventually allow Kobe to take the business from him. And I said to myself, are you though? Because it's not like he couldn't, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, we don't know what Kobe's business sense is. So it's not like the dad is close to dying. So I'm just like, why wouldn't you at least give him a from the ground up job? Let's just let nepotism work. Because I kind of feel that if Kobe was from Finland or Amsterdam, then maybe the dad would let Kobe work. I don't understand why Kobe's not able to work on the farm. What if is he not getting up at sunrise every morning and going out and moving hay or scraping dung? Because I feel like that's what they should do. If he doesn't have any prospects for work, he needs to work in the farm, or he needs to run errands for the business. He needs to just shadow the dad. Listen, it's crazy for him to have said that out loud. I want to take your business over, because I can imagine the dad is absolutely not. I don't know who you are. And you just told my daughter to shut the F up. Why would I give you anything? I get it. But also at the same time, it's why not work him? Why not work him? You know what I'm saying? I just don't figure out something that he could do. I know you have an architect. Is there not can't you just use the nepotism and have him go, hammer some nails into things? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It just feels for the father to be so anti Kobe working with him in some capacity seems weird to me. So what else does it say here? It says, what do you guys say? Why couldn't he teach him the ropes like they did for Andre? That's what I'm saying. I don't quite understand like why they couldn't just teach him something. I'm not saying he's going to take over the business, but I think the dad could be like, hey, I think that's really great that you would want to work with me and help me. Um, but this is what you would need. This is what I would require. Like, this is, are you good in this? Like, just try him out. And if he's terrible, tell him to go be a server at that one restaurant. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it makes sense. Oh, you guys, it looks like we have a special guest coming. She's shaking her head. She's jamming to the beats. Let's bring into the room, if I can remember. Yes, I do remember how to do this. The good friend, Christine.
Hi guys. Hey, what's happening? Here is why I just wanted to say this. Yeah, I heard this. This was a very intense conversation. When it first started, I got very anxious. Again, because Wah said it, I thought that the dad was going to, I didn't want the dad to have a conversation with him about his relationship with Emily. So when that was actually not it, and it was about this like, oh, money talk, men talk, I was really happy about it. Kobe had also said like, look, like her dad and I haven't connected. We haven't had that chance like man and man to talk. And if some things happen in this conversation that are very, very good, which is this kind of like understanding of this is hard. And I think two things. I think the fact that Kobe just said it so easily and without knowing how kind of asinine it means to just like say that without having shown that you know anything about the business to the man that made the business was just, it's an out-of-pocket move that I think that doesn't show the emotional intelligence and discernment that one would want to run a business. Now, that's also because he's anxious and is in front of the dad. I think that of course there's like a possibility that he's really great at this work and that he shows Emily's dad how great he is. And like, for some reason, Emily's dad's like, oh my God, yeah, totally. Like, no, you are great. And I really want my family to succeed. And oh my God, you are, perfect for this. Yeah, that all could happen. But like, as a person that has a dad, that has a business, if someone that I was dating told my dad without me being married to him, and this person had no schooling about what my dad's business is, which is like finance, like stockbrokering stuff. Yeah, I would love you to just like teach me the ropes. I would love to just like take over your business someday. Now my dad would be like, first of all, you are never to see that person again. That person's crazy and bananas. Who I don't absolutely bye. I mean, like my dad would laugh in that person's effing face. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just like, because it's crazy to say, like even you wouldn't go up to anyone successful, and I mean of any sort of success. I mean, without having proved yourself in some way, of having knowing the craft you're talking about, or being a good worker. One of those things. A, you have to prove to someone that you are a good worker, whatever you're doing, and B, that you understand that craft. But neither one of those things has been proven yet. So it's a little like, oh, come on. Also, yeah, I'm paying already for your whole life right now, dude. So like now you're just asking me to give you like my daughter and a son for you, and I'm already paying for literally your food and air right now, and then just like also give you business, like. So that was one thing. But another thing, but listen, I love Kobe. I just think that Kobe's a little ignorant, because I think and which is what to say in the second part, which Wah hasn't brought up yet, which we can talk about, Wah, which is the fact that, yeah, Kobe didn't quite understand, and it's very hard to understand as an adult how much money it actually takes to be in a certain place at a certain time in 2022. So America with a new family, Kobe's like, look, I brought some money. Yeah, I didn't tell Emily, and he's smiling with it like, he's like $4,000. And he's proud of it. God bless. In Cameroon, he's like, yeah, $4,000 is like, I can rent a place for a year and feed my family. Oh, wow. It's great. That would be great. Wow. That'd be really, for $4,000 for a year. My God. Yeah. Kobe needed to have a person give him the wisdom to be like, no, son, no, not here, not right now. So sorry, just so you know, that's not enough. And it was actually done, I think, in somewhat of a kind way for two men that also, as I started off with, aren't warm to each other yet. I don't think either men are bad men. I think they're actually, I think that they're actually good men from very different places and understandings of Emily. And I think that coming together over some commonality would happen easily in their future, mostly about how crazy Emily is. Anyway.
Yeah. I really do think that someone in the comment that were saying it is that Emily did not prepare or prep Kobe to come here. She didn't tell him, because I know they had to have talked about what he's going to do there. And she probably gassed him up and was like, "Yeah, babe, you could totally probably work with my dad, and it's going to be great because we're here," because she's seeing her and Kobe's life through her lens of, my dad will pay for you, and my dad will pay for me, so that means he's going to pay for you because he wants me to be happy. And so this is what's going to happen. And yes, somebody said it must be a cultural thing because, there, in some cultures it might be great for the son-in-law to like show interest in the business, and want to take over. And I think that is true, but that's why it's shocking to me that he doesn't actually have any kind of higher education degree. Like, that is where I was confused at, because I was like, oh, you have an old school idea of what America is. You thought you were moving to America in the 50s, where what you're saying is possible, because you use the terminology civil engineer, and like that's like urban planning. That's like a whole situation. It's a whole thing you have to learn how to do, and you can't just learn it as on the job experience. I mean, you can, but like not with the father of a girl you got pregnant. And I don't think she's also told Kobe how much her parents don't trust her or her decisions. She just sweeps everything under the rug the same way she like rolled her eyes at her parent. I mean, fully rolled her eyes. Like, have you ever rolled? I mean, you have. I don't know. Have you ever rolled your eyes in your dad's face to where he saw it?
A whole roll or a half roll? I missed it. Probably a half roll. I could do that. I could just be like,
yeah.
I'd be like, whatever. Maybe I could. I don't know.
But you don't even know. Like, maybe you did when you were younger, but at a certain age, like especially when you're asking your dad for his, or you're asking a parent for their money, you're not going to sit across from them and be like, well, that's over with. Okay, it's taken care of. Now, can I have $30,000 for a wedding? Look, also, how much money does she want for a wedding? Like, I don't know how much weddings cost. I know they cost like a down payment on the house, right? But like, what's the cheapest? Like, maybe you could do it for what, 10K?
I don't know. Ask Guillermo. I also don't understand why anyone could. Like, here's the thing: there's too much pressure anyway. Like, you don't have time for a wedding. I would tell Emily right now, like, you don't have time for a wedding. What are you talking about? You don't have time for a wedding.
None of them have time.
Like, yeah, no, like, I don't know who you think you are, but I think she thinks she's Libby. I think she saw all of Libby's weddings. She's like, I'm gonna get one in all of the countries, and we live in Asia too, so I'll get an Asian wedding, a Cameroon wedding, and I'll get at least 2 weddings here. I don't know. That Emily is crazy.
She is. Also, the fact that she wants him to spend his money on a ring for her, like she can never get a ring ever again. It's just, I don't understand this idea of wanting to force the fairy tale into 3 months.
I mean, yeah, no, that's like a overall theme of the season. I think it's, honestly, I'll be honest, I think it has to be the pressure of the producers being like, we need like bigger stakes.
Okay. I can definitely see that. All right. Let's move on to these people. The only thing I recall, because I went to sleep, as I told everybody, I went to sleep. The only thing that I recall, these are my notes. Shaeeda and the girl make dinner.
Shaeeda and the girl.
And Shaeeda talks about being called Umi again. It is awkward.
Those are all true notes.
Okay. So the daughter comes and the guys go play basketball. The daughters make chicken. And listen, the way she's washing that chicken, there is salmonella all over that sink. There's salmonella all over the floor, and there's salmonella all over the counters, because we know how Shaeeda rolls with splashy.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I mean, because it was a whole chicken. So they didn't even show her cutting it up. We saw a whole chicken, and then we saw pieces of a chicken put in a colander that one would put their vegetables, and squish it like you would, I don't know, didn't she say clean it like you would your body or something?
No, she said clean it like you would your private areas, private parts. And then she scrubbed that chicken, honey, like she very forcefully scrubs lady, she was like, I mean, that's what she was saying. She's like, you know how when you scrub your badge, you just like get in there and you're just like, and I mean, this poor girl, honey, had to watch this woman be like, that's how you do it. You know, like it was a violent scrubbing of this chicken. And I mean, I don't think this little girl has ever scrubbed herself that hard. And she's like, why is my dad about to marry this woman who has, I mean, a rubbed raw vagina? Why is it that dirty that you need to scrub it? Is it like why are you so abrasively scrubbing it? Like, you know, like it's not been rolling in mud. Anyway.
Yeah, I did not hear that, girl. I was in and out of sleep.
Can you imagine, just side note now, everyone literally know that we're watching this together. And as that's happening, I'm like, pause. I look over at Wah and this is what I get. It's like,
fully pillow.
I'm like, Wah! She's like, that. No, eyes closed. Snoring.
I snore, you guys. I snore.
But it's fine. So do I, A, and also B, I sleep with the white noise on. So I go to bed with it little softly, and then if we're sleeping together in the same room and if she starts snoring, and it's like, and it's like a nice, just like symphony of like, shh. It's great.
So she is washing this chicken, and we don't even get to see what the end product is. I just don't believe she cooks. Like because she said washing dishes wasn't her thing. I do not believe that she cooks.
I just want to say two things. Wah, I didn't know this, and I just didn't know if you know this. I didn't realize that I had the ability to put up a comment until just now.
I saw that you did that, and I don't know how you did it.
I did it, okay, but I don't know how I did it. And the second thing is, I brought it up because you brought this point up too, and so talk about it.
Yeah. What was that? Bilal's dollar stuck the freezer after they cleaned the chicken.
She like more of it. They only like they must have like defrosted only a little bit, and then she was going to defrost the other part.
It was a full chicken. It was a full chicken she took out of that bag. Unless there was, like I said, there's more that they didn't show us, because when that daughter, she takes stuff and puts it away, and I'm like, why don't they just cook the whole chicken? Why are you putting pieces away? It was weird. It was weird. I did notice that. The Umi conversation, I feel like it was a producer-led thing, because Shaeeda cannot be feeling so disrespected that she again has the conversation with a 14-year-old. And the girl done told her, I call my mother's husband by his first name. I'm not going to call Shaeeda Umi. And it doesn't, maybe I'll call her Miss Shaeeda if that's what she wants. If you want that sign of respect, it's not cultural here to do it, and it's awkward. It's awkward. So I just think that there's something about Shaeeda now that I'm starting to get annoyed with, even though I know that like she's at a disadvantage here. But I think Bilal signed them up for this show, and she probably only said yes after the 5th time he asked. He probably told her that it's going to help your business for when I give you a studio, if you're a good girl and I help you get a studio, and I am a full partner in that. And it'll help with your influencing online, because you're beautiful, babe. You could totally make. He sold it to her somehow, because she is not entertaining at all. She's not entertaining.
She's beautiful, and she has great eyeliner. I mean, not to like her eyeliner is sometimes very sharp, and other times she uses the wrong brand.
Yeah. It is just like it's crazy. Vanessa is just like yelling in the comments, or Jessica Vanessa is just like yelling in the comment section. She's just like yelling here, you're un-USA, not Trini, and then like yelling here, Bilal is right about her being a negative. Is that supposed to be Nancy? Anyway, Jessica is feeling things, just yelling.
Wait, Jessica, is it nincompoop? I have to think how many like letters. Jessica, I'm sorry.
I'm like, girl, Jessica is upset. She's yelling at us.
By the way, I'm going to do a live of this. I have to talk about this episode on my own channel at 5. I'm just telling everyone, I'm dropping my link. So if you want to hear a whole other time of just, that's going to happen there.
Oh, wow. You did as me.
That's why.
How are you me right now? How are you me?
I mean,
Oh, did we link? Wait, do you remember we did that link? Don't you remember that we did?
I just created a broadcast in this. Okay, this is funny. I just created a broadcast in my own account in StreamYard. I'm logged into myself, and then when I come back in here,
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
but
no,
don't you remember like a few months ago we like linked on here? I have a memory of us clicking a button that links us.
But you know what? While now that I'm looking up, this is crazy. I'm absolutely logged in as you. I can, because it says your picture. I'm for some reason logged in, and so are you. You're logged in as you also.
Yeah.
So that's good to know, I guess. And that makes sense. Sorry, guys. We're just like figuring out the technical things. That's why I was allowed to bring up my comment.
Okay.
We can log into each other's. We can log it. Like if you could log into mine if I wanted, and you could have that capability. It's just a good thing to know.
Okay. Well, at 5, add me in, and I won't talk, but I just want to see what you're seeing. If I can see it on the other end, you know what I'm saying?
It's the exact same. Just so you know, there'd be no. Well, I wonder. Are you asking? Yeah. Wait. Oh, I have all of your things. Like I can. Like oh look. Yeah. Like I can just. Yeah. You're right. I can do that. I forgot what was on. It's like that.
I think we linked our accounts.
Yeah, no, but I'm not. I know that is a whole different conversation because I'm still signed. I'm signed in as you, and in a different tab, I see my face. I don't know why. Anyway, guys, oh my God, welcome back to Juan Chris talk about things that are very fun for everyone's show.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else to say about Bilal and Shaeeda. I don't remember anything else, but I just feel like she's doing the most, and it's uncomfortable.
Do you want to talk about her like the little scooters? Remember that scene at all? Or are you asleep for that scene?
Oh, that happened? Is that where she fell? Talk about it. Go.
No, it's like I feel bad. Haram. Honestly, I can say that it's Arabic. Haram for Shy. If you're ever watching this, because Shy wants to like do yoga and nothing else except her really good eyeliner throughout the entirety of the day. Things she doesn't want to do. Wash dishes. Go to Juma. Play board games, and then they're like, okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do today. We're gonna hang out with each other and we're gonna ride scooters. And you see her face, and she's like, okay. And Bilal's like, Shaeeda doesn't have like a real world. Like he tried whatever he says it, but like he's basically being like, she's kind of negative. Like Shoei's like, like things with like the bad things gonna happen. And I can kind of get that, like in the sense that Shaeeda is not like adventurous. She has no like, okay, I haven't done it before, but like let's see, or just like, okay, you guys will be there for me or whatever, right? Like she's just always just like, oh God, what horrible thing's about to befall me? Something normal? Okay. Like she has this energy. So yeah, they put her on a scooter, honey, and like this is her first time. She like, it's like a weird situation where they're like, oh my God, it's like weird editing. And then like when they edit over to her, she's just kind of off the scooter, like, you guys. And they're like, okay, well, she probably just like how to hop off, whatever, God bless. So then later on, like Bilal like was like, let's have a conversation. And I don't know. I'll be honest. They just feel like they never have good conversations ever. Like in a car, in a Juma, like outside, like these people never connect. I don't understand any sort of like romance. Like even if they're on a gondola, honey, and they're looking into each other's eyes and they're thinking that like, like whatever's happening, it's like they're going to fight. There's always tension and awkwardness with them. And it's just because they both have such wants and desires, and it's not being met or fed. He wants a little submissive wife to boss around and have the religion behind him to back every one of his choices for the rest of his life. She wants to do yoga and do good wing eyeliner and then just like kind of do whatever she wants to do because she's, God bless her. Also, it also happens to us when we get a little advanced, we get a little seasoned in life. It's hard to tell us what to do. It's hard to lecture us. And it's just, we're a little seasoned. And this man, he gets off on it. He gets off on it. And she isn't about it. So they're actually a really horrible match. But here we are.
Yeah. I agree. I think that she doesn't have the energy that he wants, nor the desire to be this. I think what it is that he likes the way they look in pictures. He likes that she's different. He likes that she has an accent. He likes that she dresses modestly and that she was raised in the religion. And he likes certain aspects of the thing. But the practicality of the fact that she is not going to be the wife who entertains. She's not going to be the wife that looks adoring on his arm and it looks up at him and is smiling. She's not down for whatever. She's down for what she wants to do and then to be taken care of and pampered. which is, not what he wants.
I think that if he can come out of it in such a way, if he was a little more gracious and a little less like intensely egotistical, I think that she'd be more into it. But he really won't acquiesce to anything. Like he won't even tell her that he'll have children with her, which we're talking about a pretty like religious and or traditional couple. And so in that way, it would seem kind of an understandable basic thing that she'd want. She's never had any kids. You
Yeah.
have money and you have two older children. So it's like the fact that he even won't give her that security, nor did he want to give her the security, the fact that he had to make her earn like living in the house that she did. Like there are just certain things, they just seem so it's hard to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's move on to Muhammad and Yvette. I again don't quite remember them.
I love you so much.
This is where Chris just like does the segments that I don't recall. So this is what I recall from Muhammad and Eve. I recall them sitting like outside or something. Oh yes, yes, yes. Oh yes, yes. I came to at some point during this, and we laughed about the fact that she had makeup on and we didn't understand what was going on. Okay, so he gets up in the morning and he goes outside to have his morning coffee, in the outside in the beautiful air, and she has come from the night before where she was only supposed to be out for 2 hours, but she ended up staying, longer than that, drinking and crying with her friend who has had some trauma. The friend has had trauma. And the friend doesn't want to see Eve go down that path of like, you thought some person was great, and then all of a sudden they become a monster and you didn't know. And so she comes out of the house wearing what I would consider almost the same makeup as she did the night before, but it doesn't look worn or bad, but because she keeps doing this and like, so it looks like she was so drunk last night that she came home and fell asleep in her makeup, and then woke up the next morning and started asking Muhammad what he was up to. And he's like, did you have fun with your friends? You said only 2 hours, but it was more than that. And she was like, I don't even know what she said, but Chris and I were only talking about the fact that she must be pretending at this point. And she actually did wake up, wash her face, and put on makeup for this scene. But that's all I remember.
Including a very subtle applied fake eyelash.
Yeah.
I mean, she did it. God, I never learn, but I'm just going to be honest. It's hard. Oh, what I would give to just give this woman a makeover. And I'm just saying, like, it's like, I would love to dye that very thick hair a lovely, attractive shade that complements her skin tone that isn't brassy and kind of like all over the place. And like, that's just on me, because here's the thing, she does so much, like that's where she deserves some me time. I'm afraid that even though she's seasoned, that she hasn't made the best choices in this situation. And I'm talking about her now, and I like can, but if I actually think about the fact that like the fact that like Muhammad isn't right to like take care of that kid, and like not only has she like didn't ask any questions but thought this man was going to come over and just like take care of her kid and like change that catheter every 2 hours, like he also thought that when he came over, that, and this is what I think Muhammad thinks, like, look, I don't want you to be Muslim. That'd be great, I'd love you to be, but like you have to understand that if you're around me, you don't talk about sex and you don't look like I can see your thought. This isn't, in my mind, you not being Muslim. This is you realizing you're with a Muslim man, me. So the fact that you allowed me to go to a dinner where your friends are just going to literally be like, do you watch porn? And like, have you ever had sex? And like, what way do you actually like touch your penis? Like all like the craziest questions. He's more like, do you not know who you're bringing over? And I'm going to tell you, I'm on Muhammad's side. If I had to pick one,
Yeah.
It doesn't seem real. I don't feel like he wants her to be Muslim. I just think he literally is like, don't you understand that I am? Like you wouldn't change a little bit of your behavior. It's like that's how far off they are. And like, like I understand the idea of like, no man's gonna tell me what to do. I totally get that. But I mean, yeah, there's like a lot of men in this world that like won't. You just like happen to pick like a whole I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that she is now angry at him for something that she should have anticipated as the older party, or as the more seasoned party.
Yes.
And it's now hard to be on her side because it was all steeped in Vacation Bay behavior. And he needs to go home. Just like Sabine says, he needs to go home. He needs to go home. So Miriam, I got your email, but it wasn't clear to me if you wanted to actually come in. I did respond to you and ask you if you wanted to come in and talk. So respond to that email and let me know. All right. So that's all I'm gonna talk about them. And I took notes on this one. Jabri and Miona. I took notes.
Oh,
I was fully awake for this. So they get in a fight. And this is the end of the fight, or the end of the fight, and the space cowboy jumps in and like helps and tries to break them apart. And then the girl Brandy was like, "We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not here for this. We're not here for this." But the truth is you guys, David started that fight. David is here for the drama. David is here to make a name on TV. And we did a very good job of arguing with each other. Now, if it was real or if it wasn't real, the slam in Brandy's face at the bathroom seemed very real. And then David just keeps talking about Miona, that Miona is the problem. But all we see is he's the problem. But it's because Jabri has basically broken up the band because he was so in love with Miona and he wanted to provide certain things to her. And that's what we are not seeing. We don't see that. So we don't see why David is so upset. Now, did he start that fight? Yes. With the like, why do you have to text her and tell her anything? Well, because that's his wife. And if he's going to be in the studio not responding to her for the next 3 hours, he's got to tell her so that when they're done, he's not having to argue with her, And it's weird that David doesn't understand that. And then David is going to have the audacity to say, "You're making us look foolish." And I'm like, "No, you made y'all look foolish. You made y'all look foolish." But then we have some. This is a quote from David. "She's trying to have him for herself. She's not letting him be himself. He's slowing down for her so much. He can't even record. He can't do anything." And I'm like, is that Miona's fault? Is that Miona's fault? I don't think it is. Then we have some lyrics because Brandy gets on the mic and spits, and all we hear are her words, and it's yeah. Somebody ring the alarm. Ice drip of the wrist. I just got a new charm. Baby, meet me at the bar. It's bad. And so Chris and I were like, wow, that was really bad lyrics. So maybe we should hear it with the music. And then when we heard it with the music later on, we were like, okay, it's better. And they take a couple shots and then the band makes up. And that's the end of their segment. Oh, is Brandy Jabri's cousin? I completely missed that.
Me too. I didn't know that. Great.
So then we have anything about that, Chris?
Yeah, I with him, it's interesting. I'll be honest. It just very much feels like they're on here only for us to hear these snippets of the Black Serbs and to have us hear the two words Black Serbs over and over again and how successful or famous and or great they are, how, like transformative and genius all of them are. And we were just supposed to like watch all of that, including one man who in the studio for no reason, because no one else really is wearing anything, including Brandy, who looks like something she just came from a yoga class. There's this full ass man in an astronaut costume, space something. I mean, like, you can't, you're recording it? Like, is it hard to hear? Like, like what's happening there? But we have to watch that person like grab people and like, you know, like go between people. I mean, we know we're being manipulated. And we know that as people, as a society, we are being constantly targeted by commercial ventures all the time. And sure, they sometimes are just like direct, like commercials, but most of the time they're just everywhere, just anywhere we go. And it's one of those things where this whole season has been a Black Serbian commercial. You know what I'm saying?
So we next have a scene with Miona and Brandy, and they apparently became fast friends during the last tour. And they are looking at wedding gowns. And Brandy, I mean, Miona talks a little bit about Mahalia, which is Jabri's mother, to Brandy, and just on how things are going. And then she asks her, does he stick up for me? Does Jabri stick up for me when David talks shit? And Brandy is like, yeah. No, Brandy doesn't just say yeah. Brandy like starts to explain that David and Jabri got into a fight. And I thought to myself, like, why did you even say that? But you're on TV, so that makes sense. To kind of like fill her in with the tea. And I'm just like, just say yes. Pull yourself out of the mess and just say yes, like he loves you or whatever. And then we get a scene or like a little confessional where Jabri ends up saying that he did throw the band aside for Miona. And he did lose himself in her. And now he's so confused and he doesn't know what to do. And that's probably the reason why him and David got into that argument, if this is real, not fake, was because he was like, you're sounding like my parents. You're sounding like everybody around me. And so we're like, because everybody around you is correct. But he's just uber frustrated that the people who he loves dearly aren't supporting him through this. She gave us a camera. She's on camera. All right, you guys. So Miriam wants to jump in. You guys know her. She's Miriam M. This is her.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm just so excited to be here for this too.
She's gonna jump in. We can see her. I don't know if she can hear me yet, so she's gonna give me some kind of,
thumbs up
to let me know when she's ready to come in and that she can hear me.
Yeah. Thumbs it up, Miriam. Thumbs it up in your little camera so we see when you're ready for this. But also, you guys thumbs it up. So it's really a dual thing. I'm going to have be like, you guys literally thumbs it up, which is, giving this video a little like. Sometimes you have to exit to do so, but it like touches our soul. And by touches our soul, it means really it reaches into the chicken, the public, the private chicken space inside all of us. And that's where you put your engagement, just like Shy does.
Thank you. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, you guys. I know you're enjoying it. So, give it all thumbs up. All right, looks like she's ready. I don't know what you said, girl, but you're coming in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo, hi, ladies. You can't hear me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yay! Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm still technically working, but I'm about to do Zumba right after you, and then get right back into it because I have so much to do. But I'm so happy to see you guys. Can't believe I actually came on camera looking crazy.
No, you don't.
Cute.
I live in South Florida. The humidity is what it is. This was, all laid and flat earlier, but but hi everybody. I love y'all. I mean, you have no idea, but y'all are like my besties in my mind. I've had brunch with you every Sunday. I mean, you guys have kept me going on these shows when I'm like, oh my gosh. But you always say what I'm thinking and even more. Y'all are just amazing. I love your energy. I just love y'all. So I just wanted to put that out there. A little love from South Florida, from the East Coast, coming at you.
So what did you want to? What couple are we talking about? I'm gonna put their picture up for you.
Okay. I mean, who do you think, Chris?
Wait, Mary, you are. Listen, I want you to give whatever opinion you want to, but you have expressed. You know a lot of things about the Islam religions, right? Are we missing anything?
Yes. Well, in a lot of ways. Like when I was born, my dad was following the Nation of Islam. Yes. My name is technically it's Mariam. It's Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter's name, and so it's kind of like her namesake. And my mother is named Mary, so she kind of took it over in that way too. But um, mm, yes, he did. But they had been married for like 15 years when he came to this, realization. And my mother was like, "I'm United Methodist, so we are going to have to work this out because I am not." So there were certain things that were changed in our household to accommodate him in that way. But when the nation really split in a way, because he really followed the teachings of Malcolm X. My father met Malcolm X. He went to Howard. He met Martin Luther King. Like, he went to Howard in the 60s. So he was just a part of that time, and he kind of switched over once they kind of broke apart. But I do know a lot about it because there were certain things that I didn't do and still don't do, as far as I don't eat pork. Very careful about how I am around certain men, how I am around married men versus single men, and even then about being alone. That whole thing, like, I get it. So yes, I have an understanding, but I don't know everything, but I understand how things are kept separate, how you don't cook certain things in the house, how you don't say certain things, how you have to kind of understand where your spouse is coming from, but you have to let them take the lead, even though the woman is really running the house. So
interesting. My parents were married Nation of Islam Muslim in 1976, but by the time I was born in 1982, they were done with it because my dad was like, "I'm sorry, how many times do you want me to come to mosque? Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not coming that many times. And what is this rule? Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not adhering to that." But I grew up not eating pork. And my parents were very pro-black. My dad's like very much Malcolm X, less Martin, more Malcolm. And he's a foreigner too, so I do understand that perspective. But I don't. Like I said, my parents have love letters of like my mom's writing my dad while he's in the military. It was like, "Brother Ira." That, yeah. May God, and like at the end she like signs it as like, "Peace be unto thee." Like she signs it like whatever, all of that. So I do get it from that perspective. But yeah, so we're going to move on and talk about Thais and Patrick. Do you have anything to say about Thais? And Chris has something to say.
Oh my goodness, the codependency. I just want her dad to just have her come back home at this point. These guys don't have it together. Patrick is not, they're caught up in a really horrible little trauma bond. I kind of see, what you're saying about, the brother. I forget his name. He has a little cuteness going. Yes, John with the accent. I love a nice New England accent. He has some nice lips, but I think they're both or some of them are having some cold sore areas right now that are going on. And so I don't know what that's all about. Oh, yeah.
No, we clocked it. And by the way, thank God, as women, we have to clock what we have to clock. No, I saw that too. And I also feel like for some reason, my own TV was making anyone's like redness in their skin pop in such a way that John also has like a redness to this skin that like is, I think, on par with sometimes some broken capillaries and or bloating and or things that happen with, that alcohol, especially, yeah, I think that, yeah. So anyway,
Some rosacea, something. And maybe when he did certain things that he drinks makes it come out differently. So maybe he took some extra, because I see he loves his beer. Mm-hmm. But he must have done some kind of shots or something that night that it all kind of comes out. I know people that get stripes across their face and stuff like that, depending on what they're drinking. Brown liquor, white liquor, it all makes it come out differently in the pores.
Yeah, I'm ready for Thais to go home at this point. I think that she is being bratty. And I think that we've seen Patrick do a lot for her in the way that we wish that every American would do for the foreign woman coming over, and she still wants more. The fact that this weird bribing of here's a new phone, but turn off your location services was weird and manipulative. Like, why can't you just say that out loud? And also this idea that he kissed a girl while every time any couple on this show says that the other person cheated because during the first like month of them getting to know each other, that person wasn't dedicated to them, is so ridiculous to me.
It's so ridiculous. Y'all are in a whole different countries. Like,
yeah. And it was the beginning stages. And so why does she think that because he kissed a girl in his own home. So what does the location services have to do with whether or not he's kissing other people?
Nothing.
Right
now, I could even understand it to an extent because she is in the country right now. She has nobody else but John. And so, she she might need to, just to feel that comfort, have that. And I could understand that. But if he's not going to do anything, then what's the problem? Why change it now? So I feel like it's because John is pressuring him to take it off his phone. I don't really think he really has all this anxiety that he says he has about having it on. Unless you're doing something, sir. Why would you care? She should be able to track him wherever. You shouldn't care.
Listen, there are people in my life that I track, and there are people who demanded that I allow myself to be tracked. Okay. There's a person in this room right now who said, send me your location.
I do that when I dated. I did that because you got to be careful nowadays. I used to, okay, that's one thing. I used to take my dates a picture of their license and send it to my best friend.
Smart.
Yeah.
Or when something was happening, I would just call her on my phone and just have it playing just so she could hear where we say you were going. You can hear what's going on. Like, we've always been kind of just conspiracy theorists about that. But I mean, you have to nowadays. And we've always been like that. We've been friends for 20 years now. But I don't know if it's a DC thing too. Like, you just have to be careful because people say that they're one thing and then there's someone else. And then next thing you know, you're sold into slavery.
So. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I do the same thing. When I go on a date, I put my location into the friend group, and Chris is in that friend group. And then she follows me the whole time. And then we also send the picture of their profile. And then if I can sneak a pic during the date, then I'll do that too and just send it. So that we could be there. Thank you, Nakia, for the supportive comment. But yeah, then they had a party later on at the house, and there was a lot of tongue kissing, and Chris and I were just like, no, we don't want to see it.
It was.
Go back to your room at that point. Excuse yourself from everybody else. Y'all have a room. Go to it. And tell John, in an hour, better be out of here, period.
It was actually kind of gross. If you think about basically the storyline was, she doesn't want people to have over. That makes sense. So she's okay with it. A bunch of girls come over and she's like, well, I didn't get to approve them. That's fine too. I get it. But really what happens is she has to go off into a room and just be told that she's way hotter and prettier than the other girls and how ugly they are for her to feel okay enough to then walk back into the room with her fiance, kind of blatantly just make out in their face when it was kind of like, yeah, like I wouldn't say like, right, if you're that uncomfortable, and I get it, I would be too, then yeah, just grab your man and like a bowl of mac and cheese and just like put yourself in front of like that couch and be happy. That's what I would do. Like,
she's peeing all over him. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want I would be, and this is a young thing, I guess, like, I don't want to have happen where on TV, it's like the way to get to Chris is just like, don't worry, you're so much more hotter. Okay. Then just go out and just like, okay, I can stay. We'll hang in the kitchen and do shots now. I feel okay about everything.
I'm not that easily appeased either. That's why I'm just like, I think it's a young thing. I'm almost 50. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, 3 more years and I'll be the big 50. So.
Tell the girls.
Thank you. No pork. It's real.
good for you.
Thank you. And I think I've lived here for about 8 years now. I swim almost every day, and I think the ocean really helps too. And I don't microwave my food, but
okay.
Thank you. I think we're all looking very, youngish.
Yeah, good for you. Okay. You're giving, you are definitely giving not. I thought you were like my age, like, so I'm gonna give you 10 years younger. It looks good. You look good.
Thank you. I always win a prize at the fair because I always have them guess my age. I love it sometimes. It's hard in business because people think that I'm so much younger than I am. And then it's just like, I have to school them, and then the whole normal dynamic of, you're a Black woman, so do you really know what you're talking about? And then I have to just be quiet and then just speak calmly and slowly. And they're like, oh, okay. But yes. And also from men, especially from older men who think I'm so young, and then they want to like spit their little BS at me. And I'm like, oh, really? So I'm just supposed to tell you who I am, where I live, where I'm going, where I work. And they're like, wait a second. Yes, I have a brain. You can't.
The lecturing thing is a thing. Bilal's of the world. There are men love to just like be like, well, let me mansplain. Let me tell you. No, yeah. When you breathe, you have to take in the air into your nose, breathe it in, and then hold it. Like you're just like,
where have you been all my life? You mean
exactly
surviving without you? I can't even believe it. But Miriam, did you want to say something about any of the other couples we talked about? Do you have anything to say about Kobe and Emily? Anything?
Oh my gosh, Kobe and Emily. I mean, I just love that little boy. He's so cute. Coben, I think he has a lot of love around him, although it has a lot of toxicity in the air with it, unfortunately. I think because Emily took her family through it with her previous exes who were both in prison, apparently, right now. Yes.
Right. I knew that one was, but I didn't know that both, like that, it feels that way, where like they really just been holding Kobe. They've been holding over him the mistakes of Emily, just as if he has to be the same because
as if they're combined, but they do not hold Emily accountable to her own mistakes.
You know why I think? It's because the truth of the matter is Emily is only the way Emily is because of them. So if they're going to hold Emily accountable for her mistakes, then really they have to hold themselves accountable. But it's like that Superman like meme. Everyone's kind of pointing at everyone. Like, it's hard to do this. You know what I'm saying? The Superman meme. Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah. So they don't want to comment to her, so they're going to then put it on him, because then they would have to acknowledge their part in the fact that Emily is just thinking that she's going to figure it out. Like when the mother says, you've never paid bills on your own, you've never paid insurance, you've never done that. And she's like, well, I guess I'll just figure it out then. So I don't understand why you think I can't just do it. Just give me the money for this wedding. And it's like, that's already showing that you're not smart. You would just take the money for your life. If really, you shouldn't take any money for a wedding. You should just go to the courthouse and get married, just as Cara said. That's the only part of Cara.
Well, have a justice of the peace or whoever come on that land. They have a huge property. Get married by the barn or whatever. I don't, something. I'm sure that mother has a beautiful flower garden on that property somewhere. I am very sure that. I bet you it's award-winning roses somewhere on that property. They could absolutely have a little wedding somewhere. I mean, country rustic is a whole look right now. I mean, they could really do it great, and really do it up. Have some cowboy boots, and she wears a beautiful dress. I'm sure her mom still has her dress. I bet you. I'm sure that they could put something together totally lovely, slaughter one of those cows. I mean, come on. Like, it could be very economical, and you don't have to ask daddy for everything. And come with something. Come with a plan, and don't want a ring. That is so. But that also shows how. I don't know how, because I had my first one at 20, and I grew up super quick. I don't know how you are still sitting there talking about, I want rings, I want a big wedding, I want a big, what?
You have nothing. You have nothing.
You have nothing, and you have
$2,000.
Yes, and you have a whole son and a whole man here. And he cannot work and be gainfully employed. She is totally delusional. She lives in Disney delusional la la land. She needs to get off IG. She needs to not watch any rom-coms, and I mean none. She really needs to like watch Super Nanny, because if they don't watch Super Nanny, pretty soon that little boy is going to be out of control. Because if you're telling that child that he runs the house and you're treating him as such, problem.
Yeah, definitely problems. And the family keeps saying like, oh, he's such a whatever. And I'm like, because you guys, first of all, don't not train your kids and then tell everybody how bad they are. Like, you just have to train them. That's what you have to do. They're little, animals like we all are. And if you don't train them and guide them and show them and like, teach them how to behave so that you could get along with them and that other people can get along with them, and then don't talk about them like that. And I just feel like that's what they did with Emily.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the outcome is of a woman who goes to China, meets a man, gets pregnant, and then comes home and expects her dad to take care of everything. And when they ask her practical questions, she has no answers. I just don't know what her and Kobe have been talking about for the last couple months. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't believe she worked as a nanny. I mean, she goes somewhere, but like, where is that? And how much money does she make? And does she? I don't know. I mean,
if she's really teaching English to Chinese speakers or whatever in China, then let's do it again. There's a lot of remote work out here. Get it going. I mean, I know my son went to school with someone who's doing that now, making very good money. He works at home. And I think he lives in like the Netherlands or something like that, but he's teaching like Chinese speakers English.
Well, yeah, I mean, she definitely has options.
There's a lot of things you can do online. Be a customer service rep. I mean, there's so much you can do.
Work for her dad. I mean, I don't know. Who has business? Her dad has a business. I mean, like, can she go in and answer some phones?
Hello. She can answer phones. She can do a lot of things.
Little lisp, like hello, like I don't know her dad's business is like.
But she has to take direction, and that's the problem. She does not want anybody telling her what to do. But what do you want to do? You have to do something.
Would you like LOL if like she was really just like a receptionist and someone was like, "Hi there, can I speak to like your dad?" She's like, "Excuse me, don't tell me what to do." She like hangs up. She can't even be told what to do, who to like connect, and that receptionist. She's crazy. I feel really bad for Kobe all the time.
Me too. I hope the sister is there, because she seems to be so much more normal than all of them, that maybe she's running some kind of interference to help him through this time, because the parents really don't want him there, and they pretty much act like it. They walk around like he's a creeper, like they're looking at him like side-eyed all the time, like, what is he doing with the baby? That's his son. It looks like him. I just and just that kind of energy to live in, wake up and go to sleep in all the time, would erode the goodness that Kobe has. Then how they totally set up that little scene. I don't know if this was producer poop or what, with the whole thing of he's shoveling the poop, she's antagonizing him. She totally like just kept poking the bear until he could have said a whole lot more than that. A whole lot. I've been waiting for him to say a whole lot more, but because Emily's angelic mother was there, who's never heard those words before, please. Because Emily is reckless with her mouth. I know that she has said some reckless things to her parents before. And so I for them to be so upset that he said that to Emily. Come on now. You want to say that to Emily 10 times a day. So
that's why that's such a great point. Because I'm just like, really, Emily's mom? Like, you weren't there when he said it, kind of like,
as he's shoveling the shit, I'm surprised he didn't flick it at her. Okay.
I feel like Kobe and, as like I said, also Kobe and Emily's dad can literally have a come to Jesus moment together, all being like, you know, like I don't like they have a lot of commonality at some point because I mean, whatever.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So we're at an hour and 19 minutes. Miriam, do you have any final words? Anything you're burning me to say?
Not really, not really. I just love talking to you both. This is amazing. You've made my night. I'm missing a little Zoom, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Good.
Wait, can I ask a question? Okay, these are my questions. People wanted, by the way, your specific. People want your input on, you know, like Bilal and Shaeeda and like Muhammad and Yvette. And I think that. Do you think that Bilal? How honest do you think Bilal is in his religion and like the way that
it's in any religion, you are not supposed to try to take on or use the power of God. You are not God. You cannot use the power of God in situations or especially when you are dealing with your family. And it's almost like he tries as the patriarch. And because his father passed, and I think he has a lot of untouched feelings of grief. And so he's almost stepped into his father's shoes in a way that he thinks that he's supposed to act a certain way, but he does not have the integrity that comes with that. And so he just expects everyone to give it to him because he should have it now. And that's not how any of this works. And he has a huge want for attention and clout. And he doesn't really care what's on the inside, just the way things look. It's all about how things look. And so that lets me know that there is some really messy stuff on the inside that he is not dealing with.
I agree.
And it's just building up and building up and building up. And he's just doing more of all these other things and all these little rules and all the little OC. It's all of just not dealing with the real stuff that's going on. And I'm sure dealing with his father's death is a big problem for him that he's just not dealing with, and nobody's saying anything to him. His mother's not helping him like that, but she might be just so in it herself that, you know, you can't reach out. And he tries to let everybody know he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's not fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Demi.
Now, Muhammad and Eve, what's your hot take on that?
They are vacation bae all day. And she just said it. She said it in the last episode, like, well, we've always been in vacation mode. And so I really didn't think that, you know, it was a really big deal. Even when she was in Egypt, she just kind of did things to placate him. And I guess she was just dressing up and for his benefit, but not actually taking in any of the religion, any of just the norms that come with it, and embracing any of it, and even asking him, what should I do? What should I not do? What would you prefer? Like, they didn't have any of those conversations, or many conversations. They seem to have, well, I said this before, and I think you did too, about they have very texty conversations. Hi, what's up? What are you doing? Where'd you go? What'd you eat? That's all they talked about every day. Hi, what are you doing? Where are you going? Like, they didn't have any real conversations. And I don't know if maybe he learned English from some kind of like translator app or something, but I think that's where his affect comes from. And why he has no timbre in his voice, like he has no depth in his voice. He talks like a 4-year-old. Like, my son is 14 and has a deeper voice than that. So.
But he also has a good grasp of English too.
He does. So I'm telling you, he was on that app a lot and learning from some weird lady that talked like this. And he's very slow with his movements. I don't know what YouTuber called him the sloth, but now I can't unsee it. because he is slow with the and I think some of it too for me is like manipulative.
So interesting. I feel like sometimes when I see people like that, and because he sometimes has like a in his eyes also there could be like a far off look a little bit, and God bless. Sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe like I never know anything. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, is that maybe someone's on like some sort of mood stabilizer, that like affects that situation. I'm actually, or that's I feel like that was like a 1950s way of like, or whatever anxiety, or sometimes maybe that's like a medication side effect, or of like having, I don't know. But I will say, I think that his accent is actually not from an app. I do think that I think that he was taught English in a school because he's Egyptian, and I think that it was probably part of the course. And also B, this is so crazy, but I forgot this until, God bless, I saw someone who I dated who's Lebanese. And that person, honey, sort of sounds like Muhammad. I saw him over the weekend at a convention, at a festival, and he was like, hi. And I was like, oh, like I didn't, because I hadn't, when I made that mistake, it was years ago. So, like I forgot what that person even sounded like, And so when I heard it, I was like, holy shit. Oh yeah. Like, and this person, God bless, is definitely from Lebanon, like born there, And so
Ziad had some of the same thing going on too. Muhammad almost did, but he worked it out once he got here.
I always thought, and this is like if any Arabic people are here, I always thought like Lebanese people have like a certain kind of whininess in their voice, like it does, like they do this kind of like whiny and like almost like like instead of like Habibi, it's like Habibi, like I can't explain it. And so I thought maybe the person I dated like had that kind of, that's why his voice went up. But well, yeah, it's almost kind of like Muhammad, like, and he's kind of going up with him,
or
like
maybe they're. If a father was in the house, maybe that's the way they talk too, because it's almost like their voice is still stuck in like age 6 or something. It's just strange to me that when you matured, you went through puberty and your voice changed and you still stayed right here. Like, I don't think my son, he tries because he doesn't want to seem so much older than his friends. So he tries to talk like higher sometimes, but his voice is like this. So
we never got to see Muhammad hang out with not any of his friends. Like, I need to see like Muhammad with his boys. I want to see them smoking hookah together. I want to see them at the thing. And like, I want to hear his friend talk and then see if his voice changes. Because like, like also if his dad died early and his mom was there and it was him and his mom and let's just say his sister, maybe there'd be like some sort of just like natural highness to a voice because of that. But I
don't know, but I mean, I guess it works for Eve because, good Lord. I mean,
yeah,
it must be her. I think she's starting to realize now that the reality of the situation, that it's not really like realistic unless she makes a lot of changes. Yeah, I would love to hear.
Yeah, I would love for him to go home. I really do think that if this were the season that people were like, oh no, this isn't going to work. Yeah, I'm just going to go home. This is not, that would be, I would love it. I need for the producers to find one couple who are doing this who are for sure who are just not going to work at the end. Because remember, we thought Anfisa and George weren't going to get married, and then all of a sudden they went to the courthouse and got married. Like, I just want them to not get married because it is so blatantly obvious that Eve,
they should not.
They should not, because her friends have already disrespected him, and so now every time she wants to go out with her friends, it's not going to work. And he's going to feel some kind of way. They're going to argue about it because of the level of disrespect that his friends brought that night. To me, is unforgivable. Especially,
well, also he attributes any time that she has any difference of opinion to. See, that's what your friends say.
Yeah,
and that is going to drive her crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
And also, but she is hugging that line of being like, well, what do they think? She does that thing kind of like, we're like, you should be saying what you want. I think you're a seasoned lady. And I really love the word seasoned. I wanted to bring up something very important that I just wanted to.
Yes. But I think she's starting to realize that like it's not going to work. Like you said, she rang her face and her hair and everything as she was talking to him. She smeared that stuff all over her face. And he said something, and she literally looked all the way down, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Oh, sorry.
It's donezo's. And what happened to the son?
He's with his dad, on the every other weekend, and that's not a good energy to be around. The son too, like that passive aggressive. You went out again. Did you hang out? So what it's going to happen is he's going to become increasingly more conservative Muslim, and he's in a reaction to her. He's going to want her eventually to see how beautiful Islam is and convert for real.
Well, also, have you noticed how he always has his shirts kind of unbuttoned? Meantime, he's so talking about what she's wearing and what she's doing. And I'm like, sir, what happened to the top buttons on the shirt?
We both dress in conservative is what I hear.
Yeah.
Chris, what were you going to say?
I have the best idea. Would this not be the best show? Everyone, I want you to comment. Would you not love this? A 90-day spinoff. And by the way, if producers are hearing this, you are not to make this without us present because I'll sue. A whole season, right? A whole season of 90 Day Fiancé. We have the couples. We see their drama. This is the kicker. This is the twist. They don't know this at the end. At the end, they can't get married. The audience votes at a tell-all which couple, after watching all this bullshit, is good for each other. And somehow, and I and you vote, or the audience, or whatever that means, Sean Robinson can have a vote. And like, we pass them, like a pass or fail. Like, no, I'm sorry. He has to go back. No, honey. No, Muhammad's not gonna, I'm so sorry. Like, veto, or whatever, they're veto the, visa.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because also it's like, we know what's good for them and they're not listening to us. And it's too bad because we know what's good. And we knew what was good for Ellie and Victor. We no, Harmony, no. We just knew, and we could have saved people. You know what I'm saying? Like the Molly and the Owl, like there's so many things we could have gone back in time and just saved people thousands of monies, thousands of dollars in therapy, whatever it is, if we were just like, you guys, absolutely not. It didn't work out. But maybe there'd also be the ones that'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful watching your love story. You're crazy. But, I'm going to tell you this right now. At the end of like the last season, I think I would have allowed Gino and Jasmine to get married. And I would not have allowed Mike and Hamina.
You know what? I think that I would not have allowed Rebecca and Zied to get married. Unless I hear a young man say he does not want kids. Unless I hear that come out of that,
especially a Muslim man. I'm sorry, that is
a man whose religion is directly linked to procreation. Like, if a young man does not say, "I do not want kids," that is the only time I would let a Rebecca and Zied, a Michael and Angela, an Eve and Muhammad, that is an Aladdin and Laura. That is the only time I would let them do that. Like Jenny and Sumit, yes, they can get married because we knew how much that man loved Jenny. And none of these other couples have proven their love the way that Jenny and Sumit have shown their love. And I will fight to the end.
Yeah, you're going to die on that hill alone, honey. I do not think that man proved to us what a love he has for that woman. I think he proved that he definitely loves a mommy figure. And boy, does he want to live with a mommy figure that lets him sleep in a little longer. And
I think he loves a blondie too. I think he kind of fetishizes Caucasian women. So,
oh my God, wait!
I will have no slander. I will have no slander on this channel against Jenny and Sumit. Wait,
don't throw a chair.
Did anyone here watch? And so sorry, Love on the Spectrum yet on Netflix?
Oh,
season 2, the American version. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good. You guys should watch it. All right, you guys, we're at 1 hour and 33. I'm so sorry. We could talk all day, but I got laundry to do.
I always do.
Miriam is missing her entire Zumba class.
No. Only half. So that's like 10 more songs that they can get in. And believe me, it's Miami instructors. It's about to be a music video time. So they're, yes. Yes. I'll get all the buckets of sweat out of me. And then we do yoga too. So
All right.
it's all on Zoom. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right here. Just gonna take this dress off and throw on my sweats and stuff and go right at it in my bedroom.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Miriam. Miriam has come, this is her second time back since I've been doing this for this season. And I want to thank you for providing your commentary. Thank you for putting on your camera today. So everybody in the audience, please show some love to Miriam. When you
Thank
know she will join, she will have an opinion. And so I'm gonna take you off now, but I want to say thank you so much for being here. You guys say bye to Miriam. Show her some love.
Bye.
Thank you, Miriam. You have a fantastic
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Wah. Thank you, Chris. Love y'all.
Bye. Okay. Woo! Aaliyah, Aaliyah's yelling, so let's see what's over here. What the hell, Chris and Juan, tell us you were doing a duo. I missed the whole thing. I'm crying. You just gotta tune in to see what's going on. We're sneaky. Sneak attack as always. You guys join Chris. She's gonna go live tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's in about an hour and a half. So go get yourself some food, wash your clothes, do what you got to do, and come back. And she's gonna talk 90 Day, and I might, I'll be here. I'll join if I'm not at the laundromat. I'll jump in and say we'll see you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. Chris, any final words?
You know what? It wasn't the best episode, which was fine because I definitely had to watch it by myself. So I'm glad I didn't have that great of a commentary section. You guys but you know what? She was awake for. I think the craziest part was like hearing the Black Serbs like during that song. Like I think that was crazy. Like when Brandy sang that part, we were like, oh my God. We thought it was going to be like way worse sounding, only because she sounded so lazy when she sang it. Like we were like, I'm used to a female MC spitting a bar where you hear everything you're supposed to hear. When she recorded it, it was sort of like, gotta ring in my tongue. Like it was just so like a little lazy. Like girl, like I don't know what to do. Like do a little like warm it up a little first. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Except that of course I'm going live in almost like an hour and like at this point 20 minutes. You guys please come. I like need friends. I'm so just like unpopular and poor when it comes to friends. And here's the thing, like I have stuff to say that we haven't even talked about. I have a whole bunch of notes I haven't even opened yet. So it'll be a brand new talk, mostly because I won't have anyone else to banter with. So it'll just be my mind. And you guys. No, I'll talk more with you guys. I love you guys so much. So thank you for having me, Wah. Love you so much.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to take Chris off the screen and then I'll do my outro. There she goes. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for joining. Thank you to my moderators. Hi, Jasmine, Mickey, everybody. This is Miriam, you guys. We just saw her. She said, thanks, everyone. Aaliyah, I'm so sorry, but you came at the tail end of the video. And you guys don't forget to join Chris later on at, 5 p.m. And yeah, that's it. All right, you guys have a fantastic week. I'll see you tomorrow for the Family Chantel, and then I'll see you the day after that for Seeking Sister Wife. So I've got content for y'all, okay? All right, have a fantastic week. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Oh, I meant to, no, what am I doing? Cancel. Stay. In broadcast. I don't know what I'm doing. Bye.